It is April 15th. It is day 86 of the Trump presidency. It's tax day, right? I am obsessive about doing my taxes as early as I possibly can, but then again, they owe me money, not the other way around at the end of the year. So it's very motivating, I will tell you that much. So I have gotten my taxes back quite some time ago. It is concerning. And I hope that you all filed electronically. That's your best chance, they're saying, of actually getting your money back. Hopefully you don't need help this year help from the IRS, because I don't think they're going to be available to give it to you. Okay, let's get after it. So this shit with Mr. Garcia is an absolute mess, and a U.S. federal judge, Paula Zinnes, who is the judge that had been working with them just before this. Now I can't remember his name. The other male judge, his last name starts with a B. In any case, none of that matters. Long story short, she is ordering the Trump team to give sworn testimony as to whether or not they actually complied with her orders to do everything in their power to return Mr. Garcia. She is saying that they have defied a very clear Supreme Court order, and it's really heating up. I don't know what is next. Sorry, every time I love snacks, but she's standing in front of my book every time it's not a book, it's my journal. Every time I try to read it, she steps in front of it. I might actually type this all up at the end of the 90 days, by the way. I'm thinking about it, but I don't know how much time I'll have to do it, but I might. Okay, in any case, it's really important that everyone understands that Kilmer Abrego Garcia was shielded from deportation by a U.S. immigration judge in 2019 because gangs were violent towards him and his family. So he essentially sought asylum here in the United States. He was here legally. A judge said he could be. In any case, and there's also no evidence whatsoever. He has no criminal history, okay? None whatsoever. I mean, I know that if you're watching this, you probably already know that. But the people on the right are spreading insane lies right now. It's unreal. And it's really a masterclass in what narcissists do to people. They will accuse you of doing what they've done. So if they've cheated, you're a cheater. If they've lied, you're a liar. If they've stolen, you're a criminal, yada, yada. It's the same. It's all the same always. And it's a playbook that they all use. Obviously, like, individual one-off narcissists probably aren't even aware that they're doing it, but absolutely this administration knows exactly what they're doing. This is also something that Hitler did. It's something that dictators do. They literally do have a playbook. And they're using it. And they know that the people who are in their cult are going to believe the things that they're saying. And they're not going to look into it. I mean, we are running out of time when it comes to reinforcing the law in this country and reality. And even scientists are starting to sound the alarm that they are very worried about free speech, and they should be. It's going to affect everyone, including Trump supporters. Anyways, so Trump has frozen $2 billion that was meant for Harvard and is threatening their tax-exempt status. Harvard has made a statement and said that no private university should be subject to government control. Trump is demanding a public apology from them. I hope they don't give it to him. I hope they say no. Again, it's really ramping up. So it's going to be, I would say it's going to be a wild week, but, I don't know when this is going to stop. So I think it's just heating up in general in the country right now. Biden is actually scheduled to speak tonight at a conference in Chicago about protecting Social Security. So I am actually a little bit curious to hear what he has to say. I want to see how honest he's going to be about what's happening. I think he will be. I'm pretty frustrated that they let this happen. That, and I know that there's a lot of moving pieces, but a lot of things slipped through our fingers and we didn't use tough enough tactics and rhetoric while we still had a country. And I think that there's just, and I would say Biden probably falls into this category. I think that there's like a lot of old school thinkers who just believe that people won't cross certain lines and that protocol will be followed and laws will be obeyed. And it's like, well, do you see what's happening? Like, do you take that back now? Because that's not the case. So that's why I'm curious to hear if he is going to acknowledge what's happening. Anyways, I believe that's happening this evening. It might be happening literally right this second as I'm speaking. Okay, so this is probably the biggest story today. NPR has published a piece from a whistleblower, an anonymous whistleblower, inside of a Doge operation that they have caused an incredibly large cybersecurity breach. Okay, so the National Labor Relations Board, which investigates like unfair labor practices, it contains obviously a ton of confidential information about employees that are trying to form unions and confidential proprietary information about different companies. Doge barged their way in there, obviously led by Elon Musk, and used a bunch of really, really shady methods to access that information, okay? Really uncomfortable even knowing that this is the kind of shit that they're doing. But, okay, long story short, someone on the Doge team disabled all of the controls that would prevent insecure and unauthorized devices from logging in and accessing all of that data. They turned off two-factor authentication, which is like if you go to log into your bank and it's like, input this code that we're going to text to your phone. It's like a secondary way to prove that a person is a person, that they actually have authorized access. The Doge team was given the option to be given to have like usernames essentially created for their team so that they could be monitored to see what the hell they were doing while they were logging in. And they refused and kind of like bullied their way into doing it this way. They also turned off all the internal systems that would have alerted anyone on the IT team that any of this was happening. So, long story short, Russian IP addresses were found to be trying to log in immediately once this was happening. I'm not sure that's a coincidence. And then they were able to witness massive amounts of data leaving the system. And they said that if they were to have seen that amount of data leaving the system under other circumstances, they would have assumed that there had been a breach by another country, such as Russia or China. So this is really serious. And I am sure that this is happening at every organization. And the fact that Russia is the first country attempting to access this information tells you everything you need to know about Elon Musk and Trump and Doge and this whole operation. I still just can't even believe like that Russia actually pulled this off and like got this Trojan horse through the gates. It's weird because it's both horrifying and honestly masterful. The degree to which they have destroyed this country is impressive. It's impressive. I know it's my own ass. It's my own life that's being destroyed here. It points out how many weaknesses there are in this country as far as how far we've drifted away from like what the original intent of this country was meant to be. The melting pot, free speech, opportunities for everyone, Have we forgotten that every single fucking person here that's not a Native American is an immigrant? Yes, we have. Have we started to think that, like, education is for nerds? Yes, we have, and it shows. Are most adults only reading at a 3rd grade level? Yes, and it shows. And so they're easy to brainwash. They are stupid and desperate, and it worked. You know, I don't know what else to say. It worked. And they're in. And they have probably all the information they could ever possibly need to complete the process of destruction. It's just weird to be watching this from inside a sinking ship. Okay. So Trump, he is not bright. There's actually a rumor going, this will be your funny story that was supposed to be at the end, because I was like, I can't think of anything funny to tell them. But then I just remembered that there's a rumor going around that, and I don't even know if it's a rumor. Supposedly, this was documentation from Trump's high school that they gave him an IQ test and that his IQ was 73. I'm sorry, that's really mean of me to laugh at, but if it is 73, then he has done quite well for himself, and it explains a lot, honestly. Speaking of his IQ being 73, so he's trying to forcibly remove the trade deficit by forcing these other countries to buy American things back in equal amounts to what we are purchasing from them. So he's trying to bully the EU into buying more, like, poultry and eggs specifically. I don't know why, from the United States. And they're like, absolutely not, because other countries actually have laws that protect their food supply, and we do not. So here in the United States, there is a chemical washing process that happens to chicken, which is absolutely disgusting and makes me want to never eat again. I guess we wash our chicken with chlorine. I'm sure we do a lot of worse things than that, honestly. Anyways, they're like, no thanks. We don't want your disgusting food. And that practice is banned in Europe, just so you know. Anyways, okay, so, yeah, another executive order of Trump's has been blocked by a judge. It seems like it doesn't matter because they just keep doing the same crap over and over again. This is another situation where Trump is going after yet another law firm. So Susan Godfrey is the name of the law firm, and they have represented Dominion Voting Systems for a long time. Obviously, they won those cases against the Trump administration for, like, slander, basically, like saying that the election was stolen, and it was all proven wrong, and they lost every single lawsuit. Trump lost every single lawsuit. Well, now he is going after them and blocking their government contracts, or canceling their government contract, all of their government contracts, and blocking their access to government buildings. And they even state that it's because of their previous activities, even though Trump lost. And anyways, the judge that is blocking this has said this is a shocking abuse of power. I think that the thing that people need to recognize is, again, there will be no laws followed whatsoever by this administration. And there will be no decency or, you know, like when these judges are saying things like they're shocked, don't be. When are we going to stop being shocked and start, like, taking a lot more action? We need people that have any level of power to be doing everything they can right now, because this is the last moment in which we can do anything at all. Okay, so 22,000 IRS employees have accepted their resignation. There are a total of around 100,000 IRS employees right now, now minus 22K. They are being offered paid leave through September, or I guess they've accepted it. What will be interesting to me is whether they actually get paid. I don't think they will. I don't. Trump is notorious for signing contracts that he just completely ignores and doing business and then just never paying his tab. He's done it so many times. That's why he's filed bankruptcy so many times. He's destroyed people's livelihoods over and over again, especially contractors. I don't know. I don't think these people are getting shut. We'll see what happens. We will see what happens. That being said, again, it's probably better for them to get out of there. It's going to get worse. I'm sure they won't stop there. I'm sure it's not going to just be 22,000 employees. I can guarantee you. They're going to do some weird shit where they like dismantle the entire IRS. I don't even know, man. It is absolute chaos. Speaking of absolute chaos, honestly, good for these people. So Canadian universities are reporting that they're seeing like record huge jumps in applications coming in from the United States to attend universities in Canada. I wish I could go with them. Yeah, so this is like proving everyone who knows anything's point that when you do shit like this, all you are doing is pushing the smartest people out of this country. The people that you need, the people that will contribute to science and medicine and economics and infrastructure, they're all going to leave, as they should. Yeah, that's what happens. We told ya. And good for them. Get the hell out of here as fast as you possibly can. Okay, so China, in an escalation in the trade war, has stopped doing business immediately, effective immediately with Boeing. They had contracted some planes to be delivered and stuff, and they're going to turn the shipments away when they get there. Like, they're not accepting anything else further. Also, they will not be buying parts from Boeing. They're going to keep cranking this up. Their tariffs back to us now are at 125%. Sorry, I was just thinking about exports versus imports. Obviously, China exports so much to the United States, and the United States imports so much from China. Anyways, whatever. I never wanted to know so much about this shit. I'll tell you that. I really didn't. What would it have been like to just have a normal life where things were cool and I was just like baking cookies or something right now, you know? It was just not in the cards, okay? It just wasn't. So this I actually really appreciate. And this is what I'm talking about. We need more people willing to do shit like this. So a bunch of Democrats are planning multiple trips to El Salvador to try to find Kilmer Abrigo Garcia and confirm his well-being and his whereabouts and speak with him. Cory Booker is going to go. There's some other people. I'm hoping none of them are going alone. I mean, I don't think so, but like they should be going in groups. They should be going on separate planes. Because I would not be surprised if something happened to one or more of them. This is not information that the Trump administration wants to get out there. Because the other thing about this that people have pointed out that's very good point is that this also may bring other countries in for human rights violations, et cetera, et cetera. And I know that a lot of countries do also probably want to stay out of our way right now because we're, you know, equivalent to someone who is having a psychotic break, but we're an entire country. So they really want to stay off our radar. But at some point, the situation is going to force action. So yeah, I need to see anyone who can do anything about anything doing it. now or never, kids, because never is coming really fast, like much faster than I think people anticipated. And someone else pointed out another really ominous fact that I would guess is probably true. So the version of 2025, Project 2025 that was leaked to the internet is supposedly like the preliminary plan, and that there is an additional sort of like confidential plan that we have not seen for the following period of time after they've completed this initial phase. Now, the other thing to remind you is that there are some strange things about Hitler and April 20th. And, you know, Trump kept alluding to kind of Easter and around Easter being like a big deadline for them. And just a reminder that people were saying that is when he is looking to institute martial law. There's a bunch of buzz around the U.S.-Mexico border and that there are troops deployed down there. Just keep your eyes peeled and stay safe, man. Stay safe. I feel like this is not the right weekend to be in public, like protesting or anything. If anything pops up, I wouldn't go. I think that they're getting ready to escalate things again. Because look at how these escalations have knocked attention away from things that happened just a week ago. The Signal chat. Who? What? Right, exactly. Yeah. I would love to see them pay their consequences, but some of them will, and some of them for sure won't. And I can almost guarantee you Trump will be gone from this planet before he has to pay any real consequences. Anyways, I'm going to go eat an ice cream bar, and then I'm going to give my kid a bath and get her into bed. And then I'm going to keep reading about the Depression because it literally is so comforting, you guys. I'm sorry I keep bringing this up, but I swear, if you read about what these fucking people went through, 25% of the United States was unemployed. Dead ass. The banks literally just shut the doors and were like, sorry, we don't have your money. Can you imagine living through that? What would you do? And then I think a barrel of wheat or whatever went from like $4.50 down to 19 cents or something. And they said it was just all like rotting. They couldn't sell it. Anyways, people were starving. It was horrible. And a lot of people survived somehow. I don't even know how that happened. It's wild. It's a wild story. It might make you feel better, but if you're not crazy in the same particular way that I am, maybe not. It makes me feel better knowing that anything that you could ever endure, someone, like you're literally never alone. Someone else has endured that and worse every single time. It's just a good reminder. So eat some ice cream, go to bed, remind yourself that you still have ice cream. I'll see you guys tomorrow.